Chalkwell, which is a couple of miles upstream on the Thames Estuary from Southend-on-Sea, and the tide goes out a real long way here. It's about 50 minutes before low tide, and I'm going to get to the lowest point I possibly can and then make my way back. I wanted to get here yesterday because yesterday was one of the last of the really low tides that we've had in February, but I had to work, so I've had to come down today. The tide's not as low, but it's still fairly low. It's 0.2 metres above chart datum, which for other times of the year that would be, you know, quite a low tide, but compared to the ones that we've just had, not so low. Where I've just parked up over there in Chalkwell, later on that will be so busy. The temperatures that we've had for February lately, well, they've been record breaking. 17 degrees it was in the south of England yesterday. It's the warmest I've ever known it to be. It's the middle of winter, I haven't even got a coat on. There's a bait digger over there in the distance, no doubt digging for lugworm. I'm noticing here, from the colours inside them shells, they are hard shell clams out here on the shore at Chalkwell. So these invasive species have made it everywhere, it seems, in southeast Essex. All this hard patch you can see, this is literally millions and millions of oysters. They're everywhere, everywhere, attached to every surface. I've got to crack on. I want to get to the lowest point this tide is today. Apart from that bait digger, which you probably can't see from here in that direction, I'm out here by myself. Got this little tidal channel here. I've never seen this fully dry. There's always water in this channel. To get onto the other side, onto that big bank of sand on the other side, you've got to cross this channel. But while I'm talking, I've just noticed something. Now that is a big hard shell clam, and it's alive. There's the heart shape there. That's a nice one. So we've kicked off with a decent find, crossing this channel. This is the sort of place, this far offshore, where you don't want to get cut off. So I've got to be really cautious. It's not quite low tide yet. Look at this. Wow. Look at this sandbank. I'm about a good half a mile offshore. There's a sandbank here that's covered in mist or fog, because I can hear the foghorn out in the Thames Estuary. I'm the only person here, but I'll tell you, this is a dangerous place to be, because if this fog comes in too thick, which it is rolling in now, and this tide comes in quick, I could be in a bad situation. So I've really got to keep an eye on what I'm doing. Look at all these lugworm casts. It's amazing. It's full of them. Yeah, I've got to start making it back to shore. This is, I've lost my bottle here. I would love to go to the water's edge out that way, which I can see in the distance over there. I'm just worried about this fog rolling in. You hear about people dying on mud flats up and down the country, the cockle pickers up in Morecambe Bay, that kind of thing. I'm shitting my pants at the prospect of this fog rolling back in and cutting me off. Right, if anywhere, I reckon I'm going to find most shellfish worth harvesting in or around this little channel. So I'm going to concentrate my efforts around this area, because I don't fancy walking another mile or whatever it is, or half a mile out towards where the shore of the Thames Estuary is, because when that tide turns, that will come in quick, and I don't want to get caught out. I don't want to drown making a shellfish foraging video. So yeah, I'm going to stay here. Fog has cleared and it's a lovely day again, but it keeps lifting and coming back down. And when you're so far out in an estuary where the tide comes in really quick, it's quite worrying. It is quite worrying, I must say. The only fish I'm finding or seeing are common gobies. I was really going to come down here to do some shellfish foraging, but I've just been looking around basically the whole time. Just having a nose instead of actually finding stuff to eat. I've got a few things here, but I could have had a lot more, put it that way. Pacific oyster. Decent sized mussel there. At least if I'm getting them in this stream or this channel, they're not going to be so covered in mud like normal. 2 for the price of 1 there. Loads of slipper limpets on that, and that's a decent sized mussel as well. Some big mussels there. Look at that tiny little oyster. Look at that. Mussels. Now that's a big hard shell clam. It's a shame it's dead. Wow, are you kidding me? That's the biggest oyster I've ever seen. Look at the size of that oyster. That's the biggest one I've ever seen. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, that's not a native, that's invasive, so I could take that, but how old is it? How long does it have to live to get to be that size? There's another really big one, but that one's dead. That is crazy huge. There are millions of these oysters down here, and I reckon this is really old to get to this age. I mean, look at, I don't know whether that's a year of growth, I'm not sure, but if that is, that's quite an old beast, and I'm going to let that live. Now 2 of them side by side, they can have a chat. The fog has cleared sufficiently. I'm going to a place that I've never been before, so this was like pea soup earlier over this end. There's someone kayaking out there. Oh, there's people paddleboarding out there. It's like another world. You're finding stuff from the shore you don't even know exists. And look at this, this is amazing. You've got a channel here, and then there's another channel and another sandbank out there. This is a crazy place to be, it really is. You can see how the fog's lifted because, I don't know whether you can see it, but I can see from here. Over there is Chalkwell. To the right, that's Southend, or Westcliff before Southend, and to that way, that's Leon Sea. So, I feel a little bit more safer now because the fog's lifted and there are other human beings out this way. This is, for as far as the eye can see, slipper limpets. This is lots and lots and lots of slipper limpets. There's millions of these crazy things as well. I mean, what is that? Is that some sort of a worm? Tube worm? There's millions of them as well. Lines of them, rows of them. You know them people that I could see earlier? This fog has moved in and I can't see them at all now, so yeah, I've had enough of this. I'm going back to where I feel safe. God, I would love one of these to be alive. Well guys, look at this. That is a king ragworm. Oh my god, that's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. That's the biggest one I've ever seen that I haven't bought, put it that way. These things can really bite. He knows he's under attack now. Whoa, look at that, that's amazing. What an amazing creature to find on the beach. I mean, I've seen millions of these, what I've bought as bait. Look at it, it's exuding some white crap out the end of it, out the arse end of it. God knows what that is. It's probably trying to get me to back up. What an amazing creature that is. Look at the colours of it. I've got to get a photo of that. Now I'll tell you what, that is going to get eaten by the seagulls. If I was after bait, I couldn't get much better bait than that, I'll tell you. Look at it trying to swim. I've just walked away and come back, and that ragworm is digging itself back into the mud, which I'm glad it is really, because I don't want the seagulls to eat it. This bank on the other side here is where I've dug quite a lot of lugworm in the past. It's the only place I've ever found a razor clam whilst digging for lugworm, purely by accident. So I'm going to have a little look over there. Shell clams, apart from that first one that I found, they're proving quite evasive today. No doubt they're down here. I'm finding evidence of their shells everywhere, but I'm not really tuned into this shore like I am on my local estuary. But there's mussels galore. Mussels, oysters, winkles, slipper limpets, you name it. It's here. You haven't got to look far. Look at that shanny, look. That big old shanny. You don't find many on the shore here. But I'll try and get him out. There's a lot of water for him to swim in. He's keeping still. He's keeping still because he thinks I haven't seen him and he's using his camouflage. But this is hard to do with one hand because I'm holding the camera. Wait a sec, let's try and put that down. Right, I'm going to put him back where I found him. And then I'm going to put this rock back over the top of him, but I don't want to crush him. There's a big crab in there as well. How they share the same space, I don't know. Well, it's not a massive crab, but it's big enough to give that shanny a nip. I'm going to put that oyster there and put this rock back. Oh no, that's gone back all right. Let me put him under there. I don't want him to get eaten. I don't want him exposed. That's it. He's back under there, safe and sound. I'm going back now. It's not because I'm going to get caught out by the tide. I'm not that far offshore now, but my parking ticket's running out. So if you can notice, now it's all dried out. So you've got the mud there, then you've got this sort of white grey expanse right across here. That is Pacific rock oysters. There are millions and millions and millions of these Pacific rock oysters here, and people keep asking me, where can I go to get them? Well, just get yourself down to Chalkwell and fill your boots. Only for personal use. I'm not saying come down here, gather them and sell them, because that's illegal. But that is just an ocean of invasive Pacific rock oysters. An absolute ocean of rock oysters. It's crazy. There's so many. So the family's come down and met me. They're having fun in the sun. And I'm going to cook these up, but I'm going to give them a little clean first. See how busy it is down here now. The nut.
Blanc.
A little bit gritty, that. Not as tasty as when they're cooked in seawater. I must say that. Do you want to try it, Nick?
What is it? That one?
That's an oyster. Go on then.
This one's gritty.
It might not be. Put it in your mouth. If you don't like it, chuck it away. It's nice. Yeah?
Thumbs up with that one, bruv.
Do you like that one? Yeah? Do you want the last one, Kel?
Why, is that an oyster?
Yeah.
Looks a bit...
It's a bit battered, that one.
Sorry for itself. Yeah, a little bit gritty, but tasty.
Yeah? They're better cooked in seawater, I must say. Hello. Yeah.
We all ate one.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, look, this one had a pea crab inside it, look. A pea crab. Look.
A crab?
Yeah, look. That one had a pea crab inside it.
Oh my god.
You can actually eat a pea crab, look.
Look here, look.
Look.
Oh, look at the crab.
That's a pea crab.
Where?
You get them inside mussels, look, yeah?
Oh, bless, and he's cooked.
He's cooked as well.
Right, I'm going to eat a pea crab.
No, don't!
Why not? It's dead.
It's just a crab bite.
That's brown bread. That's so far away from being alive.
Don't eat it, Paul.
Go on in, film me then, eat it.
Nice.
Pea crab.
Hey, crab.
Let's hope pea crabs are not poisonous.
Fred, you can film now.
Yeah, Max.